Well, good afternoon and welcome to Allianz Park for this, our second NatWest Schools Cup Under-15 semi-final. It's Warwick School against Wellington College, another monstrous game of rugby. These two sides seem inextricably drawn to each other in this competition. Warwick have been in the final of the last three NatWest Cups, and on each occasion they've beaten Wellington College en route to Twickenham. They've met Queen Elizabeth Grammar School in the last three finals. They won in 2013 and 14. They lost out last year. But Warwick's under-18s lost to Queen Elizabeth Grammar School in the semi-finals here at under-18 level last week. So perhaps a bit of retribution, continuing that form that sees them through to the finals. Let's have a look then at Warwick's route through to the final. Their recent record is simply staggering. Just 4 losses to their name this season, to Dulwich College Sedbury, who sit on the other side of the draw, of course, and will be playing them in that final. But in terms of their route here, well, victory away at Rugby School, away at RGS Worcester, away at Newcastle under Lyme School. They've really shown great form on the road. And then that quarter-final draw against Bromsgrove School, but it was enough for them to get through to this semi-final at Allianz Park. And Wellington, well, they'll prove a formidable opponent. They've beaten both sides on the other side of the draw, Millfield and Sedbury. Sedbury, who are through to that final. And they've barely looked like losing all season. The closest they came was actually in this competition, a 1916 victory over Colstons before Christmas. As you can see there, that away game in round 6. Early victories over Kennet School and Lord Williams. Home match 55 points to 5 against Reading Bluecoat. And then Dulwich College, the quarter-final, that they overcame them away by 20 points to 3. They last won this competition back in 2008. They remain the only side to win the under-15 and under-18 competition in the same year. That's not possible now, as their under-18 side don't enter this particular one, but on form over the season, their under-15s are in a very strong position to repeat the success of those 2008 legends. And Wellington, well, if we're talking famous alumni, we're expecting this afternoon one Piers Morgan to be in the crowd, as his son Bertie Pugh Morgan is in the Wellington side playing on the flank. So a chance to find out how the coaches are feeling ahead of this one as the teams warm up on the pitches down in front of us. And we can hear from the Warwick coach first of all, Tom Pearce.
I'm joined by Tom Pearce, the head coach of Warwick School. Tom, give us your initial thoughts before this big matchup.
It's going to be great. We're really excited, really looking forward to it. Bit of a shame the weather came down the way it has, but I think both sides will give it a really good shot, and you know, semi-final on a place at Twickenham, so we're really excited as a side.
So your team have got 3 consecutive cup finals at Twickenham so far. This is for the 4th and this is for the record. What is it about Warwick School that breeds that brand of rugby player that can get you there each year?
I think it's just a culture all the way through, from under-12s all the way up to under-18s. There's a lot of really good parents who support the school, the leadership team and all the teachers buy into it, and the boys just seem to love it. And I think really it's just been also we make them work hard, and they return the favour really by working hard back for us. And yeah, it's been an amazing few years, but this year's a very different year, and we're focused on this year rather than the past, and focusing on a really good performance today.
Excellent, so not worried about the record yet. What have you done in the build-up to this game? What have you really focused on in training, those sorts of things coming into this?
Because it's so late in the season, we don't need to do too much with the team in terms of development. It's just getting the things a bit better that we work on from our last game, and probably looking at the strengths of the opposition and trying to nullify them a bit, because they've got a very strong side and we know that. So we're going to give it our best shot and see how we go, really.
Brilliant, well, we wish you all the best for today and good luck for the future as well.
Lovely, thank you.
Cheers, Tom. Thanks. I'm joined by Kevin, who's the master in charge of rugby at Wellington College. Kevin, can you give us your initial thoughts before the game, what you're looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to a great game, first and foremost. We've met Warwick 4 times running now in this competition, and they've had the better of us in the 3 previous times. So, you know, we come into this knowing what to expect. They're a very good rugby school, and we know that we're going to have to be at our best to compete with them today.
So you say they've beaten you 3 out of the 4 times so far. What have been your key things you've been focusing on leading into this game?
It's about us. It's all about us. The boys have had a good season. They played well up to this point. They've trained well. You know, it's genuinely genuinely about how we perform on the day. As long as we don't get too nervous and we go to play to win the game, then it'll be a great day for us.
Brilliant. And from a commentary perspective, what strengths are we looking out for in this game today? Like, what are your main threats that you pose?
I think 1 to 15, to be honest. We're a very good team. We don't really have any superstars. We don't try and sort of promote that culture. Teamwork, hard work, effort, and working for the man beside you. And that's what it's about for us today.
Brilliant. Well, Kevin, we wish you all the best today and then further on in the competition. Good luck.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
No worries.
So those are thoughts of the two coaches then. It is a big one, and we know that they will be facing Sedbergh, as we mentioned, in the final at Twickenham. This is the Under-15 NatWest Schools Cup semi-final, Warwick School against Wellington College. We are live from Allianz Park. Delighted to have your company for this, our last semi-final of the day, our 4th broadcast. We've had the Under-15s Vars competitions, and this will conclude the Cup. And, well, there's a man who may be familiar to a few of you, Piers Morgan, here to support his son. Got a pint of ale on the go as well. Quite right at the rugby. Son playing for Wellington. So let's have a look then at the Warwick team. There we are, Captain Roger Jackson, overseeing things from the number 8 position. Front row of Kelly Roberts and Joseph Jones, Angus MacDonald, Rajveer Athwal, and then the back row, Jacob Lyon, Jack Forsyth and Jackson. Half-backs, Henry Miles and Henry Mortimer. Keaton Badhan on the left wing, Zander Eddy and Harry Spencer in midfield, Alex Green on the right, and Archie Rippon, the fullback. The coach who we heard from there, of course, Tom Pearce. And then we just check in with Wellington College. Finn Baxter, Tom Cunningham and Ted Johnson in the front row. Ollie Cash and Joe Gibbons in the engine room of the second row. Albert Dwan, Bertie Pugh-Morgan at 7 and Jack Reed at 8. There we are, there's the familiar Morgan name at open side flank. And then Jamie Miller and Will Sinfield, the half-backs. In the centres, Ross Hannacombe and Ben Jordan. Wingers, Jasper Johnston and Alex Wilson. And at full-back, it's Hugo Bright. And we can just check in with the replacements as well. It is, of course, a full squad game, rugby union these days. And full squads of 22, 44 players will be hoping to make an appearance over the course of the next hour, as both of these sides bid for a place at Twickenham. You can keep in touch with us using the hashtag NatWest Schools Cup. So wherever you're joining us from, you may have been watching some of the previous semi-finals, but if you are new to our live stream on englandrugby.com or via YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're watching, it's hashtag NatWest Schools Cup. And we would love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? Who are you supporting? Could be a brother, a nephew, a cousin, a grandson, whatever it is. We'd love to hear from you and find out where you're watching from. We'll keep an eye on hashtag NatWest Schools Cup. So Natasha Hunt, well, ahead of certainly the second half. Or no, sorry, the beginning of the last game, wasn't it? We had the flurry of snow, which made the surface at Allianz Park a little bit greasy, made the ball a little bit slippery, and the errors started to creep in. Certainly hoping that maybe we might get a little bit more rugby played in this second semi-final.
Yeah, definitely. The beauty of this pitch is that obviously it's not grass, so the dew isn't going to stay, even though it's that cold. So hopefully the ball will have dried up and we can see some nice free-flowing rugby today.
We've got the hot cups of tea on the go in the commentary box. It is a cold one in North London. But we're very pleased to have your company for this live streaming coverage as the teams finish off their few moments of training out on the field and make their way in, ready to make their entrance. Warwick School then, as we say, There we see Wellington just on their way in.
Cheeky little dab there.
Yeah, absolutely. Warwick became only the second school ever to retain the trophy before victory in last year's semi-final saw them equal Royal Grammar School High Wycombe's record of 3 consecutive under-15 cup final appearances. Did I mention I was ex-Royal Grammar School? I think I did earlier. A win today would surpass that record, which has stood for nearly 20 years. It's been a far from easy road from to Allianz Park this season, though. Played all but one of their 7 fixtures away, as we saw in that lineup. Amazing quarter-final at a highly fancied Bromsgrove school presented their biggest test as they snatched a draw at the death to progress as the away team. That's how they got through. Will that sort of resilience mean that Warwick's name will be engraved on the silverware once again this year? Up against Wellington, the second most successful school in the history of the Under-15s Cup. They've lifted the trophy 3 times, while their 7 Twickenham appearances exceeds any other institutions at this level. After a glance at their playing record, it's not unreasonable to consider a 4th title heading to Berkshire as a distinct possibility. Swept away all before them, though they did have to rely on a last-minute try to defeat Colston's in that thrilling round 6 contest. Dulwich College also made life difficult for the Wellingtonians for much of their quarter-final before a try in the dying minutes finally took the visit. And of course, their coach is the former Canada captain, Kevin Kachuk, school's master in charge of rugby. They'll need to overcome a recent curse against Warwick that's seen the Midlanders eliminate them in each of the past 3 Under-15 Schools Cup tournaments. So there's plenty of rivalry between the two sides, plenty of history as well in this competition, and plenty of supportive parents and friends in the crowd, ready to lend their vocal support. Two teams are in the changing rooms just getting prepared to make their entry onto the field. Great opportunity, Natasha Hunt, for these teams to be playing at Saracens' home ground at Allianz Park. They've got the carrot in front of them of playing at Twickenham, but even getting to run out at a big Premiership game like this, Premiership ground rather, that's had European games played at it, must be a great experience for them just to be here. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's always a great occasion, but when you've got a running track like this, it's going to be brilliant and a great spectacle, I'm sure. I have no doubt that both teams are going to come out absolutely firing. Does this sort of game suit the backs more than the forwards? Is it an equal playing field for everyone around the park, do you think? I think when you've got firm ground underfoot like this, it definitely suits the backs. It suits the outside backs, who predominantly have the most pace. They'll be looking for mismatches. I know I would be if I was on the pitch, just for that initial acceleration, because you can obviously get a really good grip onto a pitch like this, opposed to muddy grass. Kind of takes more of a forwards game. So the message is starting to come through then on hashtag NatWest Schools Cup from Holly Mae Jordan. Good luck, Wellington boys, today in the semi-finals. Watching from the train from my brother Ben Jordan. Stepson Archie Benson says good luck to Oscar Roberts, William Kelly and Jack Williams for Warwick. Daisy Taylor, come on Warwick. Keep them coming in. Well, the atmosphere building. The teams are in the tunnel, waiting to come on and enjoy 30 minutes a half. That is what's played at this level. We had a very tight previous semi-final between Millfield and Sedbergh. Millfield, who led that game almost throughout with an early try. And then it was all squared after Tarrant Stewart got a second try for Sedbergh, which actually, given it had been a draw, would have put Sedbergh through, but they made sure with a penalty and won that by 13 points to 10. So Sedbergh will meet one of these two teams. It's Warwick against Wellington. Final discussions from the squads. Our referee for this match is David Clarkson.
All right.
Well, Natasha Hunt, what are we expecting in the first couple of moments of this one?
I think just both teams trying to get a hold of the game, so basics done well, trying to pin each other into the other opposition's half, so trying to make sure that you stay in that territory. Don't give away cheap penalties, cheap possession.
Well, the diamond numbers on the back of the Wellington rugby shirts. There's a little touch of retro on those shirts. I quite like that. Ball comes downfield, taken at the back by Hugo Bright. Fullback comes forward, gets his body in a good position to lay that back for his scrum half, Jamie Miller. Taken through by Albert Dwan.
Leave it, Blue! Hands out, Blue!
Warwick told to get their hands out of there. It was very much a man and ball hit there from Warwick. And the supporters in blue and white like that one. And defensively, that's a first point for the Midlanders.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great textbook tackle that is. He goes in, absolutely flies in, but he's so low, just wraps up the legs, and I think he takes the Warwick boy by complete surprise.
Let's get high standards early, please, gents, as we agreed.
Message from John Ray, all the best. Family watching Ben Jordan on YouTube from South Africa.
8 full on, please.
Great to have your
full
company.
On.
From Harvey Innocent. Good luck to the Warwick boys. Looking forward to watching a repeat of 2015 semi-final, hopefully with a similar result. Well, it's Warwick with possession. Ball is in from Henry Miles. Miles goes the opposite side to where his fly half Mortimer was waiting. Miles again, now finds Mortimer. Oh, lovely loop ball over the top, and Warwick trying to get into the corner here. That's been called forwards. Natasha Hunt next to me, shaking her head.
I'm not sure about that decision from the referee. Obviously, he's got a better angle than we have down there on the field.
Very generous,
but brilliant looping pass initially.
I thought it was perfect, personally.
Mortimer, what a piece of skill this is. Sorry, not Mortimer. Taking it to the line. Hands are coming backwards, so to me, that's a backwards pass, and what a great line.
It's extraordinary decision.
Good man. Just step to left for me, 9, please. Thank you. In you come, please, 8.
Must have thought he was away.
Bind. Set.
Wellington lucky there. Warwick showing real ambition to get that ball fizzing down the line. Saw that from Challoners in the opening game this morning at 11 o'clock. Referee nearly thought about blowing the whistle for that scrum.
Backwards.
Warwick defence is hitting so hard, and now they're going to try and go round the outside. The boys in blue and white looking so dangerous when they get the ball in hand in these opening couple of minutes. Warwick inside, the Wellington inside centre is
that's all right, play on.
Taking a while to get a breather.
Run away, Blue!
I think he's been hit, slightly winded. Just out of your picture now.
That's fine.
Ball has come back now, again, on a Warwick side. Strong.
No hands now, Black.
Miles gets caught up in the tackle. Mortimer puts the little chip over the top. Hugo Bright just trying to run that back, but unceremoniously dumped into touch.
Great recognition of Mortimer that neither winger had dropped there for Wellington. Okay. So he just puts the kick in. 15 has a lot of work to do. Okay. Archie Rippon, lots of work to do to cover that backfield all on his own. And he's well marshalled into touch.
Keep going, please.
Sorry, Hugo Bright.
Keep going, gents. Black.
Ball is down for Wellington. Playing scrum half there. Ball fizzed away. That's good service. Wellington holding onto the ball a little bit more. Just lacking a bit of shape in terms of a three-quarter at the moment, though. The boys in black and yellow.
Pass back in.
Just outside the 22. Perhaps trying to overcomplicate the passes at close quarters there, and it's handed possession over to Warwick, who flood forward on the support lines on the shoulder.
Hold. Advantage
away from
over.
Miles. Well picked up by Mortimer.
You're off your feet, Black, leave it! Hold.
Got options to his right. Mortimer wants to thread that ball through to the corner. Is it going to go the right-hand side of the corner flag? It's not. So it
restart, 22.
22 drop out for Wellington. But interesting, Natasha Hunt, the first game I was just mentioning a couple of moments ago that we saw today, Dr. Challoner's grammar school, their backline was fizzing those crisp passes down, and perhaps the middle two games we've seen was a little bit more loose ball. It was a little greasier since we had the snow coming down. We haven't seen quite as much running onto the ball at pace, but in those opening couple of minutes, signs that Warwick might be looking to try and bring that sort of game to this semi-final.
Yeah, Warwick backs are looking really promising at the moment. The 9-10 combination is working very, very well initially, and there's some really good running at pace, good handling coming off from those backs so far.
Keep the tackles low, please.
Ball back was Archie Rip, and then the ball is away from the scrum half, kick into the corner to try and put pressure on Wellington. Jasper Johnston under all sorts of pressure.
No hands, blue!
Really well. Now Warwick
penalty,
counter-ruck, but there is a penalty advantage.
Blue 5, entry.
Coming around the side, it's a penalty against Rugby Athwell. So
come round, please,
gents. A little bit more time to breathe here.
Got it.
To make the clearance.
Yeah, Athwell just needs to relax there. They're putting Wellington under all sorts of pressure, really struggling to get out of their own half.
Good man.
Here you see him coming in right at the side. Easy penalty to give away. Never onside there.
Take the line for me, please.
Wellington line out then. They try and go cheekily at the front. That's not paid off. The assistant is calling that it didn't go 5, but I think the referee's happy enough with the advantage being played to Warwick. They stole it well.
Get up, Black!
Miles looks for Mortimer. Slightly untidy, but they are getting the offloads away down the back line. Oh my goodness, that's
advantage
beginning to work well for Warwick. It was really close quarter stuff, just playing the offload game.
First one here.
They were a little flat-footed though.
Okay.
Wellington's Jack Reed, skipper, just takes a moment to get up. Might have taken a bit of a knock to the head on the floor there.
Yeah, both teams playing with real ambition in these opening exchanges. Fantastic to see them both trying to get their offload game going, but equally those nice crisp hands as well. Mortimer's doing really well with some of the balls that he's been given, and fantastic handling here.
Stand up, gents. Stand up.
Just took his hand.
Line speed that Wellington are
Let's hold it steady,
putting
please,
in the
before the ball
faces
comes
of
in.
Warwick, yet
Keep
they're
your feet out
still
the channel
managing
as
to
well.
get those passes away.
Yeah, it's really difficult to offload when you're going backwards, especially when people are coming up really, really quickly.
Bind. Set.
1.5 minutes gone, still 0-0 here.
Ready! It's better 9, thank you.
Ball skids along the floor into the hands of Sinfield. That's a lovely kick. Really, really well played. Sends Warwick back into their 22, putting the pressure on them to have to play out of their own territory.
Take a bow, Will Sinfield. So often we see 10s kick open to the winger, but very often when the scrum is in the middle of the pitch, the blindside winger has to stay high in case they go 8, 9, 15, or they come back down the blind side. So great recognition of that space and an absolutely fantastically executed kick.
Analysis from Women's Rugby World Cup winner Natasha Hunt, looking to become an Olympian in Rio 2016. Great insight from her scrum half, of course, alongside me in the commentary box. Little chip through from Wellington didn't work, so it's turned possession over to Warwick. And then twisting through the tackles they go.
Get up, boy, get up.
Miles for Mortimer. Pass back in, you hear from the referee, so can't kick directly into touch. So now a chance to run it straight back from Jasper Johnston. Big tackle on him. Still holds on to the ball and gets it away. There's a penalty advantage being played to Wellington now. There was Warwick in fringe around the fringes of the breakdown. Driving through there, Ross Hannacombe. Pick and go from Reed, accompanied by Pugh Morgan.
You still have the advantage, Black.
Now the ball is away. Will Sinfield carrying
No
it
advantage
forwards.
coming.
But there is no advantage from that earlier penalty.
Thank you. Offside. Captain.
Here for Wellington.
Post.
And they've called
Post.
for a shot. Chance for us to see the
Blue 12.
kicking acumen
Offside.
of Will Sinfield.
Jan's first offence, blue 12 offside. But
Yeah, it's a really tricky kick to open up your exchanges, isn't it? On the 5 metre, outside the 22. Let's see what Will Sinfield's got in his locker.
Absolutely.
Time.
10 minutes on the clock then. Floodlights are on at Allianz Park here in North London. Great occasion for these schools under 15 sides. Play at the very top level. Sinfield's kick. Not quite. Mortimer thinks about taking a quick 22 dropout, which he does. Tries to send it deep. Warwick communicating with each other to try and create the defensive wall. They come forward as a wall, but it almost allowed the chance for Wellington to kick over it and regather, but it's been well tidied up by Will Kelly for the blue and whites. Plenty of aerial kicks going on in this game. We've seen a bit of that from both teams, but it seems we've got a few more boot-to-ball specialists in this one.
Yeah, Mortimer's winning that battle at the moment, isn't he? Every time the winger comes up, it's just being put over his head. Wingers are both in two minds whether to sit back, help out their fullback, or whether to come up, and they're being run ragged at the back at the moment.
Warwick line out, it's well won. Miles Mortimer coming through the centres with Eddie.
Still's got control, it's gone backwards.
Referee's happy enough with it. Miles again, Mortimer wants to thread the little kick through, get the wingers turning back and facing their own try line. Puts the pressure on. Oh, but that's really good work from Wellington, stepping out. Chases on. Hugo Bright did brilliantly. Further pressure from Ben Gordon.
Leave it!
Warwick try and look after the ball. Miles, the scrum half, has a little foray himself. Then Mortimer, quick to run in and play scrum half himself as soon as he sees his half-back partner.
Advantage.
Caught up. Little knock-on from Wellington has given Warwick the advantage here, and they've taken it. That's a really good low body position and drying through the tackle from Athwal.
Leave it, Block! Still have scrum
now they
advantage,
go short side. Mortimer really keen to keep pinging these corners. Plenty of pressure on. Jamie Miller goes back.
Counter-ruck is good.
Referee allowing the counter-ruck from Wellington, from Warwick, sorry, but Wellington have managed to look after the ball. Strong work from Jamie Miller. Wellington scrum half.
No.
Needed desperately to tidy back and not give the penalty away. The support got there in time, and Wellington will have a chance to clear their lines here. Pressure is on.
Hold.
Mortimer's going to field this without it going into touch. Throws the long ball back in field. It's Archie Rippon. Now they're trying to find some room on the right-hand side. Chance to cut back in field against the drifting defence. The noise goes up. The Warwick fans are in really good voice here at Allianz Park. Just
it's accidental, gents. He's into his own man. Couldn't be helped.
Warwick over on the far side.
Unlucky.
Defence was well positioned enough to not make an easy option for Warwick.
There we go.
They got caught in amongst themselves. And it'll be a scrum for the boys in black.
Great counter-attack from the kick. You see Mortimer field the ball really well, then send it wide to the winger Alex Green, and the work rate, I think it was Spencer, to come back and give them an extra man on the outside was absolutely fantastic. That's what you want to see from your outside centre, that work rate to get back and give you an extra number.
9, 6. Blue 7, hands off.
Hit the ball at the back. Striding forward.
Leave it, Blue, you're off now.
Jack Reed.
Hold.
Well with the skippers.
Pass back in.
Little chip through the middle. Well, that's brave in your own half. Oh, it's really beautifully gathered. Excellent from Wilson Field. Seen a couple of glimpses of what he can do. That was sublime. Now then, can they create the extra man here on the outside, Wellington? Perhaps the ball should have gone from Ross Hannicke. Could have put his winger into space. Jasper Johnston must have been screaming for it. Can Warwick get the man into touch there? They can. Using the touchline as an extra defender, getting them into touch.
We're not going quickly, gents. 3. No need for that.
There's a little bit of needle over there.
No need for that.
Well, so far, this is the lowest scoring game by this stage of any of them. So, in the day so far, that's how hotly contested it is. Almost worthy of a final in itself. Quarter of the game gone. Warwick 0, Wellington 0. Ball to the back of the line.
It's not straight, Captain.
Isn't straight.
Scrum.
So Wellington will
Scrum.
have a scrum here and
There you go. That's yours.
to try and mount an attack from this position. It's a tight old match, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, tensions are rising. You can see that by the exchanges we just saw on the far touchline. It's really tight, and the thing that I don't want to see is the first team to score the other team's heads goes down, because they're both playing some brilliant rugby.
Do you want to go and get it? Luke, we need an asthma pump, please.
We've just got a call for an asthma pump.
Who for?
So I was just preparing it for that.
Okay, happy to carry on? Got it. Time on.
Captain Jack Reed in need of some air.
Yes, absolutely.
Crouch. Bind.
Fascinating encounter, this one. Both teams really keen to try and set the back lines going, get the interplay between forwards and backs. Ball's away, Sinfield.
Now you've run into him, play on.
Now then, that kick didn't quite get through, and Mortimer shaped a kick and then ran through, and he gets through another little gap and offloads really nicely. Both fly halves playing excellently so far in this one.
Outside.
And it's for Mortimer again. Outside the 22, gets the kick down. Keeps bobbling and bobbling, and Hugo Bright goes back, gathers it, offloads. Jack Reed.
Advance to
the ball there. Warwick might have turned this one over. Indeed, it comes back on their side in a good position on the 22. Little show and attempt to get through the gap from Jack Forsyth.
It's no advantage, Cohen, because he's on the ball there, so we're going to go back for the knock on here.
No advantage. Credit to the Wellington scrum half Miller there. He was the
lost forward by Black.
Position to potentially turn it over. Being in that position, he's
there we go.
A bit of a knock to the lower back. You can just see him holding there, but was the advantage that wasn't coming from the knock on.
Just have a look at the AR for me. It's scrum in line, all right. Crouch.
Can Warwick mount an attack?
Bind.
Neither
Set.
on the board as yet. One missed attempt from the tee in terms of penalty.
Okay.
From Wellington.
We've turned.
Well, look at that from Warwick.
Let's have you a bit squarer and a long bind on the body. Make sure you
great noise.
staying off his arm as well on your side. Fine, stay off his arm.
Noise that we've had so far.
That's fine, but I need your feet, both feet.
Absolutely brilliant.
Look at that. All right.
We need to sign them up for the England women's games.
Okay, crouch. Bind.
Let's go, boys.
Set.
Too many syllables.
No. Hold it.
Full arm back row.
Warwick pick and go from the back. Have they got the opportunity to send the winger in? Came off a Wellington player.
I think he's lucky not to go in the bin then. To me, that looked like he was going for the intercept, and that was a definite try if he didn't touch that ball.
Yes, line out. Take the line, gents. Hang on. Step off. 6, Black. Thank you.
penalty against Wellington for holding that in.
Holding on.
Thanks, sir.
Post, captain. Yeah.
First chance for Warwick from the tee.
Mortimer was very adamant that he didn't want to do anything but kick this between the uprights.
Well, it's a tight old game.
Okay, anywhere on these fine. Yeah.
We have seen one missed attempt early on from Wellington. It wasn't the easiest of efforts for Sinfield.
Good one. 10 to go. Yeah.
I always think it's credit to the defence as well when you're in a great attacking, position and you choose to take the kick.
Yes, absolutely. Suggests that they're not sure they're going to get any more out of you. Mortimer nails it through.
4 black.
And Warwick are the first team on the board.
Substitution, please. 4 black.
Penalty. And it's
Number
Warwick
4.
3, Wellington 0. And I think we've already got our first change. Wellington's number 4, Ollie Cash, is making way for Tobias Scalabrini.
Say when, Luke. Hang on. I'm waiting for him to go off the pitch.
Wellington just having to hold there until the change had been made. Restart. Oh, it's superbly taken from the man straight onto the field. Scalabrini leaped brilliantly, but the referee saying he went forward. It might have been the slightest nudge on the floor, but he was like a leaping salmon after that ball.
He absolutely was. Great kick-off initially, textbook.
Just be sensible.
Textbook kick from Will Sinfield, and then what a catch that is.
Look at this. Scalabrini is
Crouch.
flying after this.
Bind.
Thank you very
Set.
much. Just lost it there on the floor. Away from
Pass back
Miles.
in. Hold blue.
Competition for the ball is good, and it looks to be coming back on the Warwick side after Keaton Badhan got his hands on it.
Hey, roll.
Wellington skipper's got to get his body out of there. It's away from Miles, using one of his big front row men to carry that one up. Got to clear it out. Mortimer, another high ball, putting the pressure on Wellington, but it's well gathered in that time. And then the support runners round the outside. That's really strong support play from the inside centre. Oh, he looked to try and get the kick across Hanekom, but it didn't quite work. And now Warwick send the kick back with interest, and they'll get themselves a bit further downfield. It was really lovely play from Hanekom. Sense that the opportunity was there to play. Get on the supporting run around the outside. Trying to thread the kick through the outside of the right boot. Didn't make quite enough of a connection on it.
Yeah, absolutely. His work rate to get back and support his back three was brilliant. But equally, what a kick from Henry Mortimer off the outside of his boot, so that as it hits the ground, it's going to bounce and roll towards the touchline.
Use it!
Carried on by Bertie Pugh-Morgan.
Away, blue 2!
Ball fired back.
No advantage coming, gents.
A little bit of pressure, but not a whole lot.
3 black, please. 3 black. 3 black.
No,
there's no advantage coming from the original rock on, gents.
Some early changes really for Wellington. Ted Johnson leaving the field.
Scrum.
Lucas Brook coming on to replace him.
No advantage from the knock-on by blue. We're here, aren't we? Yeah?
Where's the mark?
Black scrum, yeah.
Which one's the mark? This one?
Yeah, we'll take it.
More messages coming in to hashtag NatWest Schools Cup from Romy, cheering on her godson Ben Jordan, watching live from Johannesburg. Well, we have a truly international audience. Great to have you guys with us.
Bind.
So we've got audiences in Cork in Ireland. Also appreciate the nod from Aaron Athwell.
Pass
Got our
back
team
in.
sheet sorted now, so we are aware that Aaron is wearing the number 1, not the number 5. As for Wellington, try and take the ball out of the 22.
You need to stay up, Black. Arrive up, Black.
Send us your messages. Let us know where you're watching. Can you beat Johannesburg in South Africa? That's wonderful to have you guys there.
Backwards.
Watching our live stream.
Blue out.
Allianz Park on englandrugby.com, YouTube, 15's Rugby and various other rugby sites as well. Wellington trailing currently, looking to get out of their own 22. It's been a low score in the first half, but it's been absorbing at the same time. A few little errors creeping in, but
Arrive up, Black.
fascinating moments as each of these teams looks to set the other retiring and facing back to their own try line with the aerial battles. It's away from Miller. Oh, looking to put his man through the gap, but the referee just says it went forward.
Good man.
Might just have done. Ross Hannacombe shown he can be pretty handy.
Boys, do again, do again.
Let's have another little look at that.
Brilliant line from Hannacombe. Great pass from the base. You see him sizing it up, taking his time. Brilliant execution, ball out in front. And then fantastic line. Not sure how that's gone forward. That's 1-1 though, I guess.
It is, absolutely. I was just going to say.
Crouch. Bind.
Pretty strict on the old backwards passing rule. So referee.
Hold.
Noise goes up again from the Warwick supporters. They want to try. Will it come now? Mortimer on the run around with his centre, Eddie. Needs support as he presents that.
Stay up, Blue.
Warwick stepping inside the tackle is Jacob Line. Maul is set up. Wellington are doing all they can to hold this up and win possession. If Warwick can't get any more go forward on it, they're piling as many bodies into it as they can. Now they do get a bit of go forward. And has that ball come to the deck successfully for them? No, it's unplayable. So it will be possession to Wellington. That's really good defence.
Yeah, great choke tackle there, targeting the ball, keeping him nice. And when you run into contact that upright, that's all you need to do. Target the ball, get underneath him, and then get the rest of your mates to hold you up as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Good recognition from the Wellington defence there.
Let's go, Jez, please.
I temporarily forgot about the little hand warmer I had.
Can you come out, please?
It's very toasty.
Crouch.
One of my pockets currently.
Bind.
Just thought I'd share that with you.
Set.
2.5 minutes to go until half time.
That's all right.
They really need to get out of their own 22. They've been down here for an awfully long time.
Advantage penalty.
There is a penalty advantage coming though. That might give them the chance.
Blue 10. Blue 10.
10 is offside, but well, rather than going for the territory clearance, they decide to try and come straight up the middle, and it's the strength once again of Hannacombe.
Stay up, Black.
Here's a traditional busting inside centre, calling for the ball quickly on that quick tap. Perhaps rather than clearing for territory down the left or right side, that was the right option.
That was flat.
Ball over the top. Referee says flat on that occasion, but then it's ripped.
Advantage scrum.
And it comes back on the Warwick side. The advantage wasn't coming. A little bit of squaring up to each other going on over the far side with Wellington skipper Jack Reed involved.
You need an example, please.
Yeah, here we see the wonder ball coming out of the back.
Crouch.
Oh, to be fair, it was pretty flat, that one.
Bind.
Brilliant pass.
Set.
Not what you expect from some of your forwards.
Absolutely. We've had a couple of those this afternoon to enjoy. It's away from Miles to Mortimer. Looking to try and find some space for his three quarters to run into. Oh, it's been knocked forward. And then knocked forward again.
13.
Well, it ended up
13
being a
offside
penalty.
in front of the knock-on. 13 offside in front of the knock-on.
Wellington's 13. Ben Jordan was just in front of where the ball was knocked forward when he tried to play
no time for the line. No time for the line.
No time for the line out.
Captain. Captain.
What's the decision from Warwick? They're just debating whether they conclude the half, which is the decision. They will go in front, but it's a slenderest of leads. It's the slenderest lead of any team at half-time that we've had all afternoon. A low-scoring first 30, but it's been utterly gripping as both of these sides feel each other out and try and find the opportunity to get around each other.
They're going to come into you.
We're certainly interested in your views on that first half. Hashtag NatWest Schools Cup. We know we've got people watching from Cape Town in South Africa.
Look, do you want to?
Also, Toby Pallister watching from a sunny Sydney in Australia. Great to have your company. Send your messages. Hashtag NatWest Schools Cup. You can send them to me, Nick Heath, on @Rugby Media. Or to NHunt09, Natasha Hunt, who is, of course, the England Women's winning Rugby World Cup scrum half, who's alongside me in the commentary box. We haven't got any tries to review. We can just have a think about the day and the other semi-finals that we've seen. Of course, we've got the Vars semi-final, the NatWest Under-15 Schools Cup Vars final, which will be between Dr. Challoner's Grammar School and St Thomas Riches. And, well, they both got through. It was the first game of the day that Dr. Challoner's won by 41 points to 12 in the end. It was pretty convincing. They had the back line to play plenty of rugby, but Bridgewater offered some up-front grunt that, well, if they could see more of that from St Thomas Riches in the final, will cause Dr. Challoner's problems. St Thomas Riches, who had a 20 points to 0 lead in their semi-final, only winning that by 23 points to 19. But we enjoyed those Vars semi-finals, and there was some good rugby on offer.
Yeah, there really was. I mean, I definitely think that Challoners are the on-form team going into that final. They put together some really, really nice team performance. In terms of their opposition, St Thomas Riches, they again came through a really tough encounter to get the win, and that's always going to stand you in really good stead. They came from behind, took the lead, and then held on to it, so that's going to be a really great game down at Twickenham on the 16th.
Sebra are the team that will be meeting the winner of this one. Warwick, who've been in the last 3 finals. They won it in 2013 and 2014. They were finalists but runners-up last year. There's Wellington in their huddle. Wait to find out whether they've got what it takes to get through to the final and overcome Warwick. Oliver McRobert watching live from Cape Town. Come on, Welly. Daisy Taylor, great carry from Will Kelly, number 5. We are broadcasting live on englandrugby.com. Did we just see someone watching the football in that box? Shocking, sir. We shan't have any round ball action going on here. Charlie Sharp getting in touch. Go on, Warwick, you lads. Piers Morgan is with us here at Allianz Park in the crowd, cheering on his son Bertie, who is playing at number 7 for Wellington. Just 3 points between the sides. Hope you've had time to put the kettle on, get yourself a quick cuppa. We've got 30 minutes more of this brutal encounter to come. I'm loving this message from Stuart Hughes. Puddle the dog, cheering on Warwick in front of the fire. Stuart, if you could send that roaring fire to Allianz Park, I'd be most delighted. 7 hours out in the cold over 4 semi-finals.
The hand warmers aren't quite cutting it at the minute, are they?
They're taking the edge off. They are taking the edge off. Great to be bringing you this coverage. We thank you for your company wherever you're watching this live stream. Great also to have the insights of Natasha Hunt, who is bidding, of course, to become an Olympian come August. Rio 16, England women's sevens team looking to tear it up as rugby becomes part of the Olympics. Looking forward to it?
Touching wood as you're saying it, Nick.
Yes, absolutely. as you may. Selection yet to come, of course. Wellington with possession then. Start of this second half. Solid carry. What will have been the messages from each of those coaches?
I think just more of the same. Both teams are putting together some really good stuff. Maintaining possession obviously is key, and potentially for Mortimer is to give your backs a bit of a run, because he's kicked a lot of the possession away, which he's done really, really well. Oh, as I'm saying that, he's going down with a bit of an injury.
Just out of shot. Mortimer was just hobbling on one leg and he's gone down as the ball goes out over on the far side.
He's had a really strong first half, but what he's done by putting all of the kicks through is that the back three is starting to drop off now, so that's creating space elsewhere. So rather than kicking through, for the back three to run onto it, and obviously the most dangerous runners on the pitch, now he needs to get the ball through the hands, give it to his back three to attack that space that they've left.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to have to be the job of someone else, because it looks to me like Mortimer may have made his last contribution. A little shake of the head. Don't know whether it's a touch of cramp or anything worse. He's back to his feet. Maybe that's all it was. Little hobble, and he's running back into the action. First bit of possession for Wellington in their own half there from the restart. They seemed a little wider and deeper, and perhaps that's been a message that Wellington need to heed.
Yeah, and those initial carries were taken on really, really well, weren't they? So potentially aggression in the ball carries as well.
Warwick with possession. Oh, sorry, Wellington now with possession. Referee saying it's all fair. Finn Baxter with the carry. There is a much more depth on it from Wellington at the start of this second half. Sinfield spotting the opportunity to get through there, fizzing it through the hands. Good tackle to get Jasper Johnston into touch down on the near side. They were seeing a bit more cutting incision from the Wellington back line, trying to give each other a little bit more space, I'd say.
Yeah, great run there by Will Sinfield, and then good hands again. Taken into touch.
Just got a bit of attention for Jack Reed. Now we have a message here from Dan Lord via hashtag NatWest Schools Cup. I want this to be true. Watching from a hostel in the foothills of the Himalayas. Now I don't know whether Dan Lord's just trying to outdo everybody else, or whether that's true. If it is, that's marvellous.
It's a bit early to be getting in nominations for man of the match as well. Come on, Dan.
Yes, he certainly is trying to sway the vote. And Rupert Pugh Morgan watching my nephew Bertie, along with his grandmother, auntie, another uncle and assorted cousins. Go Welly. Well, good to have your company.
Well, we've got this gap in play as well. I've got to do a shout out to Miss Hunt, my sister, teaching at Wellington College at the minute, and she's here in the crowd to watch them. Hey, sis.
Family ties, loyalties to the teams as well. It's been a family day. I had my nephew playing the first one. You've got your sister teaching at Wellington. Wonderful scenes. So Warwick, big defensive moment here. They've called just the two-man line out, and they've knocked it forward. It's not worked out for them. Wellington then with possession with Lucas Brook. It's there for Miller, gets it away. Big scrum half, big fly half Sinfield is always happy and ready to carry, but well out of the picture. Ross Hannacombe there is on the floor. He's not looking particularly good, and he is one of the big carrying options for Wellington, but as I say that, there are other nominees putting themselves forwards and trying to get over that gain line. Miller looks to go short side. Warwick defending for all they're worth. Miller again. Fizzes it away. Sinfield. They're going to have to be careful if they come back to where the injury is on the floor, but they might not want to lose this momentum. Hugo Bright goes to ground. Referee's just keeping an eye on the placement of that injury. Sinfield wants to try and get Johnston into the action. Assistants having to give a good look as to when that ball goes out, the flag goes up. But it may be that we've seen the last contribution from Ross Hannacombe. That would be disappointing from a Wellington point of view, because he's been bright and carried aggressively when he's had the opportunity.
Yeah, he's done really well in the first half. It will be a big loss for Wellington if he has to leave the field. Here we see Johnston getting shepherded into touch again, just by his hair.
Another message from Hugh Griffiths. Good luck to Wellington College, in particular Ross Hannacombe and Hugo Bright. Well, unfortunately, Hannacombe is being forced to leave the field, and understandably he looks fairly devastated about it. Just limping off just out of your picture.
Yeah, schoolboy rugby is built around 5 players for me: the hooker, the number 8, the 9, 10 and 12. They're always your key men, people that are going to take you forward, so that's a big loss.
George Timberlake coming on then to replace the centre. Sarah Morrow, all family watching on Mother's Day. Come on, Warwick. Harry Patterson watching in sunny Bangkok, notching up the international points here on the live stream of the NatWest Schools Cup. Under 15 semi-final, second match. The winner of this one facing Sedberg. It's another untidy line out.
Hannacombe's just tricked us, by the way. He's just jogged back onto the pitch in that break.
Has he really? There he is. My goodness, I'd missed that. I don't think he can bear to be on the sidelines. Miller waits to get that one in. Pulls in from Miller. Gets it away. Wellington backline were all tightly compacted behind the scrum there, and then launched themselves forward. Didn't quite come off for them. I think perhaps they needed a little bit more width on whatever they were running. It's there for Miller again. Picks to go short side through Pugh Morgan. Scalabrini's in there. Warwick defence is pushing them out, but it's a penalty to Wellington. Miller runs it in quickly. Are they in a position where they might take it back for 3 points and square things up on the scoreboard? What's going to be the decision for Jack Reed? As we've said a few times, these chances to kick penalties into the corner and go for catch and drives can be tricky at this age group, because you can't lift players.
Be very careful. Roll away.
Well, a warning from the referee to Warwick.
Scrum opted.
So Wellington opt for the scrum. Goes down well with their supporters in the stands.
Right, thank you.
Warwick make the noise to urge on their defensive support.
Yeah, showing their intent, aren't they? Let's hope it pays off for them.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Big shot from Wellington. Nearly a nudge at the bottom of the scrum, and then a great direct line straight through the middle, and look who it is! Lazarus himself, Ross Hannacombe, back onto the field, having hobbled towards the touchline with an injury. He then smashes straight through the centre, and what a line that was, Natasha Hunt.
Yeah, well, that clearly injury wasn't hampering him there, was it? What a line. The pace that he comes on, I thought he fumbled the ball at the back of the base there, but brilliant line. Just evades the defence, and then a great finish as well.
Send him on, mate, get him off.
Well, great score from Wellington. Surging straight through. Sinfield adds the extras. Wellington College go into the lead.
Just give me the all clear to go, Luke.
respond to that. A couple of changes start to be made. Joe Gibbons in the second row, leaving the field. Lucas Brook also. Restart taken in by Dwan. Wellington back into the 22, Sinfield.
Pass back in.
It's away. That was a big hit. There's a penalty for it. Referee's told them to wait.
Blue
High
13,
tackle.
keep it low.
Penalties against Harry Spencer for going in a little bit high on Hannacum. Just have another quick look at that.
It's your mark.
Oh, it is high.
It was kicked up to the halfway line. Wellington line out. They've opted for a
Keep going,
two-man.
gents.
Just Scalabrini and Bertie Pugh-Morgan in there, but it didn't work out for them. As soon as the ball left the hooker's hands, Warwick came thundering up. Now then, Warwick chipped that one forward, asking questions of the fullback, and they dump him into touch. Blue and Whites trying to get their tails up, get those continued positive on positive moments that we've spoken about all day.
9.
Yeah, fantastic tackle there from Forsyth. Brilliant chase from the kick. Great little nudge to put it in behind. Winger was up flat, fullback obviously had pushed a bit wider. Fantastic chase, dumping them into touch like you say, and then another line out.
2. Gents,
Interesting that both teams are choosing to put 2 men in the line out each time, because it's kind of negating their back options. There's so many people in the back line now, so if they do win the ball, when they pass it out, there's not a lot of space to work for either team.
Well, it's also the couple that we've seen that have gone two-man. They've lost each side that have nominated it. An unfortunate sight that we can just see down below us, and we send our best wishes, is Henry Mortimer, who is unfortunately leaving the field, or sorry, being wheeled down in front of us with his leg in a boot and being led out. So we certainly wish him all the best and a speedy recovery. He was playing really well. Now Warwick have the chance to attack down the short side. Still with the ball. I think they're going to be lifted into touch, or they did well to offload and keep that back in field. Henry Miles goes around the short side. He's in danger of losing the ball there. Wellington got themselves in a good position to win that. By just sniffing around the fringes, really. The scrum half got himself isolated. Perhaps the ball should have gone.
2.
Warwick was just beginning to build up ahead of steam. Wellington will now have the chance to relieve the pressure. Toby Pallister, can you say hi to my stepbrother Hugo Bright from me? Tell him we're all watching down under.
As you are.
Henry Dalton, me and the family cheering on the old Shrewsbury boys. Tobias Scalabrini, Will Sinfield and Jack Reed. Now the ball's come down into Warwick hands.
Leaving out black! Hands out!
Little short-range pass. Trying to crash through. Get over the gain line. Warwick not too wide at the moment. They've certainly looked the most dangerous when they've had a back line to speak of. But now they've given it away, and it's going to be a race to the line. And I don't know if they're going to catch him. The chase is on. Can they haul him down before he gets there? Oh my goodness me. Ball is there for Wellington. Can they use quick ball to get there? They knock it on at the base. Oh my word. Hannacum was screaming for the line. He's already got one try.
Black 20.
But the chase was absolutely superb.
Fantastic fantastic chase back. That's what you want to see, the intent from those boys. Somebody's break the line. That could have been a clear try.
Keaton bad.
Absolutely brilliant. And you see now all of the Warwick boys in your picture coming back, getting onside, and the counter ruck causes the knock on. Brilliant bit of defence.
Sorry, 8, in you come.
Here's Morgan on his feet, anxiously watching.
Bind. Set.
Warwick. Scrum in the shadow of their own posts. Got one of the wingers right out on the far line.
Yeah, interesting setup from Warwick here. They've got one person really wide on the right-hand side. Everyone else is stacked to the left. If Wellington get a turnover here, this is a really easy run-in for the number 8.
Yes, it certainly will be.
I guess you've got to think about the attack when you've got the ball.
Well, yeah, they're certainly looking less like they're just going to clear the lines. They're looking like they want to try and strike from under their own posts if this ball does come back on their side. It is there. They've tried to pick and go down that short side, but it's got swallowed up at the back. Wellington defending it well. Kick downfield, not found touch. Have they got the options down the short side? Tackle is good, and then the ball goes forward. So Warwick will have the scrum.
Great pressure there from Miles. He puts the kick up and then he gets in the defensive line, manages to join Green and make that defensive hit, force the turnover.
Scrum.
Sinfield's taken a little bit of a knock there, just gets back to his feet. There's the clearance.
If it's anything like Honeycombs, he's going to come on and score in a sec.
Water off, please, gentlemen.
Tweets coming in.
Hang on.
Alfie watching live from Lakota, USA.
There's your mark there, look. That's it.
Finley Bell, absolutely banging game from the under-15s. Will Sinfield tearing things up. Erridge watching from Peru, apparently.
Set. Hold.
Scrum is moving an awful lot, but it's there for Warwick. Kick downfield. Stays in. Opportunity for Wellington to try and counter-attack. It's back in field to Sinfield from Bright. Up to the halfway line. Oh, but the ball spills loose and Warwick come through. They're going to need to support each other there, though, which they do. Now they've tried to find Wellington caught at 6s and 7s defensively, but they get away down the short side, and now the chase is on once again. It ended up coming off a Warwick hand. What's the decision here between the officials?
So thrown into him as opposed to try to grab? Okay. Knock on into touch then, gents, option.
Oscar Roberts' work rate is absolutely phenomenal at the minute. He is covering an awful lot of ground. Equally, Hugo Bright has had so many kicks to field and he's dealt with every single one exceptionally well. There was no way he should have got through the 2 on-rushing Warwick defenders there, and he did, and he managed to make a lot of ground for his team.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Wellington, replacement scrum half. James Carton.
Hold.
Gets that one away. Sinfield has had to go to ground to field it, and here comes the on-rushing Warwick line defence. Puts the pressure on, but Wellington deal with it well. They're still ahead on the scoreboard, of course. Into the last quarter of the match.
Use it.
Pick and go around the corner from Albert Dwan up to the halfway line. Ball shot to the left. Sinfield. Half show and go through the gap, but there's a penalty advantage here.
High tackle.
It was the high tackle as the ball was spilled. Had a couple of those from Warwick.
Captain, that's 2 now.
There we are. Free just having a word with the captain. Ball kick downfield.
Yeah, Alex Green does really well there just to control the ball with his feet. If he goes to pick that up with the hands, then that could have been a potential knock-on. And then a great nudge downfield. Get it to the halfway.
Keep going, Blue. Keep going, Blue.
Get on your feet, so hard.
is in. Warwick take it down. Are they able to get it to ground? Yes, there it is. Miles with the kick over the top. Oh, fullback's done really well there.
Hold!
Mind you, the crossfield kick might not work out too well. It may be more advantageous for Warwick. Picked up by Archie Rippon. Been ripped away though by Wellington. Strong defensive work from Hannacombe, but in fact, not rolling away as the call.
Over there.
The referee wouldn't let the scrum half go quickly, but he does go quickly second time. Tries to catch the Wellington defence napping.
No, Black, leave it! Hold. Leave it, Black!
Away from the scrum half. Trying to use the big men to step through. Oh, but then it's been lost. But a penalty for Warwick.
Entry. You've come up the side.
They can't go for the posts in order to get themselves in the lead. There's, 11 minutes left remaining of the match.
Scrum.
They call for the scrum.
You've got
Natasha Hunt, what would you be calling here?
Yeah, definitely scrum. It's the best option. They're 5 metres out. It ties in 8 forwards from Wellington defence, and it gives the Warwick backs that opportunity to strike from 5 metres out.
Clearly round, please. All right.
Potentially Miles for a pick from the base as well. He's been really strong with his ball carries all game.
Yes, absolutely.
On the line.
Apologies, Jackson.
Crouch!
Miles is the nippy little 9.
He is the 9. Well, I thought you meant it would be him going.
Hold!
There's the pick from the 8.
Leave it, Black 7.
Bertie Pugh Morgan told to leave it. There's not an awful lot of room down that side, and Tobias Scalabrini is in there causing all sorts of problems. The big man with number 18 on his back. Look at him holding that up almost single-handedly.
Ball is there, it's playable.
Warwick have done well to get that to ground. They're not going to get the turnover, Wellington. So it's a show and come back inside from Forsyth, but the ball's just been knocked forward, and Wellington congratulate each other for the defensive effort.
Yeah, Forsyth just needs to put his head down there. He's in a good attacking position. He just needs to get his leg drive on, low body position, and drive through. Instead, he's offloaded into a static man, and that's why, unfortunately, the ball's been turned over.
Well, there is an All Black legend in the crowd supporting his son Lucas for Wellington. It's Zinzan Brook.
Set.
Living over here in the UK now, of course.
Full arm. Stay.
Oh, that ball went back on the Wellington side to begin with, but then it's come back for Warwick. A little turn and straight from Zander Eddy. Penalty coming for Warwick.
Hands in.
It's getting tighter as Warwick do more and more to threaten the Wellington line.
Scrum.
They call the scrum. Slightly exasperated look on the face of Henry Miles.
I think because he saw the coach running on with the tee.
First of all, we had a player not rolling away, but he opened up and the ball became available, and then he played it back with his hands. So we'll take a
couple of penalties in this area of the field.
Put your leg down.
The last 2 or 3 minutes.
I've got about
the argument while it's this tight for them to have gone for 1 penalty and then expected the chance to try and get more, but
just all planning to have their foot back.
Warwick perhaps need to think about how effective their wider backline was looking in the early exchanges of this match.
Set.
They had the run on Wellington in those exchanges. Look at the shove though from the boys in black and yellow. Warwick do well to deal with it. Oh, it's untidy as they try and run around the corner, and then it goes forward. That was inaccurate from Warwick, and Wellington defend it well. Really strong shove on the scrum.
Here's your mark, Black.
They're just slightly overcomplicating it at the minute. Is all they need is a little bit of composure. They've got the advantage at the moment. They're in the right area of the field. They just need to calm down, run through the phases, and try and get over that white line.
In the hands of Wellington from the line out. Just outside the 22.
Pass back in.
Marion set up from Finn Baxter. Ball set back. Cleared downfield. Oh, a little mazy run from Archie Rippon, and then he finds support, and they're down the near side. Trying to get Warwick into touch, Wellington, but then they're going off their feet. Referee not giving anything on the first ask. Roger Jackson, the skipper, leads on really well, and then the clear out continues. Oh, it nearly opened straight up for Henry Miles to go through himself. Ball back in field. Warwick, they've not got too many men out wide. They're going to need to get a three-quarter line in place if they're going to try and get it out there. They then kick over the top. Oh, it's not a great kick, but the referee is bringing them back.
Number. Hands in.
Hands in the ruck, the penalty. Not enough of an advantage coming. What's going to be the decision here? One of the coaches is suggesting they kick it into the corner. And this is the difficulty, as we've mentioned a few times, with the line-out situation.
Yeah, you just don't know, but I do think Warwick had the edge in the line-out. They've maybe got a little bit more height coming on, so...
Advantage scrum.
Here come Wellington.
Advantage
running
over.
Again, out of defence. Oh, that's a really strong run. And they're away through Bertie Pugh-Morgan.
Not held. No release.
Made some serious yards for Wellington there. Getting themselves upfield, tried to get the offload over the top. There was no one there to receive it. It all overrun. So a few considerations for the man of the match. Wellington with the edge on this one. It's a difficult one to call a man of the match sometimes when you're not quite sure exactly how the game's going to finish up. But
yeah, I think players to mention. Captain Roger Jackson has been brilliant for his team, absolutely exceptional. I think Hanekom has been brilliant as well. Sinfield has played a really big part for Wellington, but I'm not sure about Hugo Bright. He's been absolutely phenomenal at the back. He's fielded some kicks really, really well. So all in contention for me at the minute.
I'll come back to you at the next stoppage.
Equally, that man there, Henry Miles, has put some fantastic stuff together.
Yeah, he's kept things ticking over. As play continues, Wellington have possession, but Ross Hanekom is now calling to have to leave the field, and I think he's got calf cramp or something. They're all getting it.
Got one here. We got one here.
Plenty of people getting attention all over the place. As Ross Hanekom gets attention, but Natasha, your man of the match?
Yeah, we're looking at him now. Unfortunately, he's down. It looks like a bit of cramp because he's been run ragged at the back, but Hugo Bright has been absolutely brilliant for me at the back. He's had so many kicks
you might need a minute, Luke,
to deal with, and he's dealt with every single one of them really well. He's either broken the line and ran really well ball in hand, or he's sent the ball back over and made gains that way. Absolutely brilliant game from that man.
He has been tested a fair amount. Dealt with everything that's been thrown at him.
Just under 2 minutes.
Just under 2 minutes, then you hear the referee say.
Yeah, it's the clock start.
Trying to get rid of the cramp there. The worst thing about that sort of cramp is your muscle almost goes straight back in once you're then pulled to your feet.
Yeah, the worst thing about cramp is the worse it gets, the more likely you are about pulling a muscle. So if I was on the opposite team, if I was Warwick right now, I'd be putting a ball right on his head. See how he deals with that.
Well, I think we are seeing the final contribution of Ross Hanekom. Just hobbles off down below us.
Play on.
Ball is loose. Warwick have it.
No back.
he's kicked into a bit of Brian Adams here. Not sure if they realise the game hasn't finished yet. Big carry from Warwick.
Bit of motivation for the boys.
Yeah, perhaps it is.
Play on. Play on.
It's a little loose from Warwick. They try and come forward with it.
The hands back. Touch.
Chip it forward, trying to send the runners through to get hold of it. It was well taken in by Sinfield. Watched it carefully. Wellington do have a number of runners down this channel. Alex Green was calling for extra defenders, but in fact it's then the penalty to Warwick.
The mark's on him.
They looked for a moment like they were going to kick for the corner. Well, they do try and kick possession away. Do they not realise perhaps how little time they've got to try and launch an attack? They need cool heads and a strategy to get the ball up the other end. Keep ball and send the runners and support. But at the moment, it's a bit loose from Warwick. Kicking it away without much time left. It's back for Hugo Bright. He'll happily take the offer of the support runner while his legs are only operating at about 60%. Counter-up from Warwick.
No hands.
Is it coming back on the Wellington side? It looks to be. Players at this stage will be wanting to know exactly how long is left.
Yeah, I think I just heard the ref's whistle bleep as well, so Wellington could have potentially put the ball into touch there. As it is, Warwick will launch another attack.
Carried forward by Forsyth. Out down the three-quarter line. Can they find the room to get going on the outside? Making some good ground here, Warwick. Picked up by the scrum half, he gets dragged into touch. Is that the final act? It is! The ball needed to come back in field from Warwick, but it's no matter as far as Wellington are concerned. They are victorious, and we will be without Warwick in the Under-15s Cup final for the first time in some years.
Well done, young man. Good game. Well done.
It's been a low-scoring encounter, but it's been absolutely gripping.
Well done, boys.
Piers Morgan will be pleased. His son put in a decent shift. Warwick, they had the slenderest of advantages. But when Hannacombe scored the try that was converted by Sinfield, Wellington went into the lead and they did enough to hold on to it and see the game out. Natasha Hunt, your thoughts on Wellington making it through to the final at Twickenham?
Thank you.
A great team performance, to be fair to them. Like their coach alluded to at the beginning of the game, they didn't necessarily have outstanding players and they didn't breed that within the squad, but what they did have was 1 to 15 solid players, and their basics really shone through there. Simple catch pass, really nice line that got him straight under the post, and good execution then to come out after the half absolutely firing.
Well, those are the thoughts of Natasha Hunt. It's been great to get her insight over the course of the day throughout all of the semi-finals, and we'll hear again from her shortly down pitch side with a bit of post-match reaction. But Wellington are the victors. You can see what it means to the players. They will be going to Twickenham. They will have a final at the home of England Rugby. The Under-15s NatWest Schools Cup NatWest Schools Cup final, indeed, on March the 16th, will be Sedbergh against Wellington College. It's a final score in the second semi-final of Warwick School 3, Wellington College 7. Well, here's the try that put Wellington into the lead, and it was the line from Hannacombe, absolutely at full tilt and straight through the defence. First phase ball. Sinfield picking his man, and Warwick had no answer to that particular charge. straight through Hanneken. Only a moment or two before that, of course, he'd left the field, or was hobbling off the field anyway. And I think perhaps a bit of cramp or whatever it was passed him, and he got straight back on and then scored that try. An influential contribution that put his side in the lead that they held on to until the full-time whistle. So we can get some post-match reaction. Natasha Hunt is down pitch side with the Wellington coach. Let's hear from Kevin Kachuk.
I'm joined by Kevin, who's the master in charge of rugby at Wellington. Kevin, what are your thoughts? You must be absolutely buzzing for the boys.
Yeah, really delighted for them. I mean, it wasn't the most compelling spectacle of attacking rugby, but that's because the teams worked so hard in defence. Both teams, credit to Warwick, they worked very hard and made us work for everything that we got today.
What does it mean to you and your team to be heading to Twickenham on the 16th?
It's fantastic for the boys to have worked so hard all year and to have that chance to, you know, win a championship at the home of rugby. So I know that they'll be really buzzing about it.
Definitely, and you mentioned in your pre-match interview that you didn't have outstanding players, you didn't breed that in your team, but you had really great performances 1 to 15, and that was something that you really looked to focus on. Do you think that came across today?
Yeah, I think I said we didn't have any superstars. We definitely have outstanding players, but yeah, I mean that's what it took to win that game. The substitutes that came on made a huge impact, and you know, 1 to 22 today, and not just that, the boys that had played and weren't able to be here today due to injury or selection or whatever. It's a real squad effort today.
What did you say in your halftime team talk? Because they definitely came out firing in that second half. I think the first initial carries, they were really up for it.
Oh, we just turned them around, really. They know what they did wrong in the first half, and it, you know, it was evident when they came out in the first couple minutes that they'd figured it out. So.
Brilliant. Well, we wish you the best of luck at Twickenham on the 16th. Congratulations for your win.
Thank you very much.
Well, a very happy Wellington coach, and so he should be. Well, we've had 4 tremendous semi-finals here, and it means that on March the 16th at Twickenham, following the result of this second semi-final finishing Warwick School 3, Wellington College 7, we will have the NatWest Schools Cup Vars final, Dr. Challoner's Grammar School against Sir Thomas Riches, and then the NatWest Schools Cup final. Under 15s, of course, Sedbergh against Wellington College. We've really enjoyed your company for all of the live streams, and we will be back, of course, for that live stream from Twickenham for the under 15s and under 18s finals. What a day of rugby that promises to be. Thanks to Natasha Hunt for her analysis in co-commentary, and for all the team that have brought us the live stream this afternoon. We look forward to your company once again, but from all of us from the NatWest Schools Cup, it's a very good evening from Allianz Park.